Charlotte Pudding is our new yellow-purple leader from OP08 Two Legends, and if you're willing to open your third eye to learn how to play her, here's everything you need to know. Getting right into it, Charlotte Pudding is a yellow-purple 5k power for life Big Mom Pirates traded leader that reads, when attacking, you may turn 2 cards from the top of your life face up. Gain 1 Rested Dawn from your Dawn deck. So what are we trying to do with this leader? Well, the answer is simple. We spend early turns attacking and flipping our life to try and build a Dawn advantage over our opponent so that we could play big bodies turns earlier. Endgame top end is everything for this deck. So basically the energy you're trying to channel is Candace from Phineas and Ferb. That's right! Get ready for World's Best Mom, Charlotte Linlin, to be the main character of your deck. 08 has 2 new moms to utilize. The first being 9-cost Charlotte Linlin that has an on-play Dawn -1. You may trash 1 card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then, add up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of your opponent's life cards face up. While the second is 10-cost Kaido and Linlin. We'll get to that one later. And lastly, of course, is Old Reliable. And in case you forgot the Reign of Terror she wrought, Charlotte Linlin is a 10-cost yellow character with 12,000 power that on play lets you gain up to 1 life and trash up to 1 of your opponent's top life cards. Of our top end mom cards, I would really only endorse playing 9-cost Linlin and the Old Reliable 10-cost Linlin. My specific reasons are this. We want to start building board pressure as fast as we can. 9-cost Linlin is definitely attainable during turn 4 to start pressuring opponents' boards with our first big body, while healing us and sending opponents mid-range threats to their life, helping us delay the game state for us to continue playing large body. In conjunction with 10-cost yellow Linlin, we could snap an opponent's mid-range threat to the top of their life the previous turn with 9-cost Linlin, and on the next turn, play 10-cost Linlin to effectively send it to their trash, making it a vicious 2-turn setup combo that our opponent must respect but can do very little about. After this, we can just begin slamming down large threat after large threat on turn 5. 08's Linlin and Kaido is just a bit too slow for us. With the card trading on play ability for when attacking, we allow our opponent 1 whole turn to remove it. Not to mention its when attacking effect minuses 10 Dawn while also wiping out both of our boards. And against some of the sturdier blockers in the game like Sabo and Basil Hawkins, it's almost not worth activating, especially when our ramping isn't as impactful as other traditional purple decks. Other top end cards to use would be of course 9-cost Yamato from OP04 and 10-cost Ace from OP07. These are very strong picks that help heal us while fulfilling the role of large bodies on board. Now that we've identified our endgame win conditions, let's talk about our mid-game card selection. Again, our goal is to get to 9 to 10 Dawn as soon as possible, meaning we're going to be focusing on our ramp and our life flippers. One card to really bring into focus here is OP08's 6-cost Charlotte Katakuri. This card has an on play which allows us to flip the top card of our life face down, then gain an active Dawn. Outside of our leader, this is the other major ramping tool. While providing a large 7k body that we can begin to apply pressure with, it also ramps us with an active Dawn, and with that active Dawn, we can use it to attach onto our leader and swing for 6k, or use a Searcher Pudding or one of our Searcher events. The other cards to mention would be 2-cost Blocker Viola from EB01, which allows us on play to either 1. Look at our opponent's life and rearrange it in any order, or 2. Flip all of our face-up life cards back down. The second effect is more our speed, as we want to basically reload our leader's ability by giving us more life to flip up to ramp Dawn. It also provides us with a necessary chump blocker to keep our life total up so that we can continue to use it as a ramp resource. For this reason, 6-cost Edward Newgate from Starter Deck 13 is also a great card. Its on-play ability allows you to add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then, look at all your life cards, place 1 card at the top of your deck, and place the rest back in your life area in any order. Ideally, taking 1 face-up life card and replacing it with a face-down one, as well as rearranging your life so that all your face-up life cards are pushed to the bottom, while all your face-down life cards are pushed to the top. Another life flipper to mention would be Shanks from Starter Deck 13.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, I mentioned him. Moving on. Most of the other cards in the deck from my perspective are either searchers and searcher events for top end. Searchable 2Ks like OP07 6-cost Sanji, strong yellow triggers in the way of Gang Beige and 0-cost event You're the One Who Should Disappear, or other life fixers like Flampe or Hiyori. With card selection out of the way, let's think about turn sequencing. The natural progression of a non-ramping, non-minusing leader is as follows. For going first, on turn 1, you gain 1 Dawn. On turn 2, you gain 3. Turn 3, 5 Dawn. Turn 4, 7 Dawn. Turn 5, 9 Dawn. And finally, 10 Dawn at turn 6. Going second, on turn 1, you get 2 Dawn. On turn 2, you gain 4 Dawn. On turn 3, 6 Dawn. Turn 4, 8. And on turn 5, you get 10 Dawn. Comparatively, if we follow a max ramping strategy with Pudding, it would look something like this. On Pudding's first turn going first, Pudding would get 1 Dawn for a searcher play. On Pudding's turn 2, you start with 3 Dawn, so you could equip 1 Dawn onto your leader, activate the effect when attacking, and then play Blocker Viola to flip your life back down, netting you 4 Dawn by the end of turn. On Pudding's turn 3, we start with 6 Dawn. Then we attack for leader effect to flip our 2 life up again, going to 7 Dawn. Then we play Katakuri's 6 cost, flipping one of those life back down and gaining 1 active Dawn, netting us 8 Dawn. And if we have it, we could use that active Dawn to play a searcher. And then on tapping on our 4th turn, 10 Dawn, while our opponents are at 8. On Pudding going second, our turn 1 starts us off with 2 Dawn. Our turn 2 starts us off with 4 Dawn, which we can use then to equip 2 onto our leader, swing for 7, activate leader effect, gain a rested Dawn, and then play Blocker Viola to flip our life back down, netting us 5 Dawn for that turn. Turn 3 starts us off with 7 Dawn, allowing us to equip 1 onto leader and then activating leader effect, gaining a rested Dawn. We can then play Katakuri's 6 cost to gain another active Dawn, flipping our life back down. We end that turn with 9 Dawn. And then on turn 4, we start off with 10 Dawn again, while our opponents are at 7. I cannot stress enough how the entire point of this deck is to summon big bodies before your opponent can deal with them, forcing them to fight an uphill battle. One of the mulligan hands that I would probably mull for would be a combination of a Pudding Searcher, a 6-cost Katakuri, a Viola Blocker, and a large body threat, to just have the most optimal setup. A lot of your worst matchups are against decks who could flood the board, such as Zoro, Vegapunk, and Doflamingo, and also against decks who could KO high-cost targets, such as Lucci or most black decks. Some decks you'd be absolutely favored into are decks who have a similar endgame. Control endgame decks like Enel or BY Luffy would start quaking as your board populates well before theirs, and with characters that can hit well over that 9k buff BY Luffy threshold, they'd better hope they have nearly enough Sabos to survive. And you know, funny enough, you'd probably have an advantage in the Nami matchup too, since you'd get to trash their life while leveraging larger swings. Here are a couple of deck lists to get you started. This one is from Malaysia's store flagship event, and this one is one that I cooked up. With this type of deck, I figured it was more beneficial for me to explain cards and card strategy as opposed to just naming ways to build the deck. And thank you to our members who had early access to this video. I'll also be hosting a members only gameplay stream for this deck the day this video goes public. So if you'd like access to that or all of our other content up to 2 weeks early, consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. And if you're looking for other OP08 leader guides or just fun One Piece content in general, please check out the channel. And as always, thank you.